Right, everybody, so after last week's video where we covered the Carlo Ancelotti Christmas tree tactic, the more I played it, the more I thought, yeah, AC Milan need a little bit of this. You know, if you think of the players that they had at that time, Kaká, Inzaghi, Seedorf, Pirlo, Gattuso, Maldini, Nesta, Cafu, the list is endless. And you go to the squad in 2025 and it is absolutely nowhere near on that level. It is a million miles away. So we're going to do a little bit of a tactical rebuild. We're going to play as like the Carlo Ancelotti and use the Christmas tree tactic to get us through these next few seasons. And then what I am going to do is, we're not going to do 20 seasons and win everything and take over the world. I think that's kind of unrealistic. I'm kind of pretending that Carlo Ancelotti is coming in to set the standards and then hopefully move it on to you guys at home afterward to take it and bring AC Milan back to the top tier of European football. We may even complete that today. However, with the squad and being kind of realistic with signings, I do think it will be difficult. But I'm going to leave it in a really strong position. The save file as well will be down in the description for you to take on once the video's finished. All right, let's go and see what we're working with. Let's see how the Christmas tree fits in with the current AC Milan squad. Right. As I said, the squad is pretty damn poor. There's a lot of average players in here. Like, if you look at the potential, Warren Bondo is the only one. Having said that, he's already 21. There's nothing in there that, you know, he looks like a decent all-rounder, but nothing that we can really hang our hat on. Pulisic, decent. Malik Thors, okay. Got some decent mentals and physicals. With centre-half, we're not too bad at the moment. Mike Maignan, we're going to keep. He'll be our goalkeeper. Rafa Leao is like the guy, but we're going to have to change his role because we aren't playing with a winger. Theo Hernandez as well, superb left-back, so we're going to use him. Probably Youssef Fofana and Ricky. So we're going to kind of build the team around 4 or 5 of those players. And then the others we'll try and sell on, especially these down here. We will try and sell on. And there's a couple in there, Jimenez, Benacia, Terracchiano is pretty good actually. Quite young, so nice to keep him and maybe involved as a squad player. The idea is that we don't go through and over the next few years, we don't sign 7, 8 players like you see in these rebuilds on YouTube. We're going to try and stick to 3 or 4 signings per season. Hopefully each time just try and find something to go in the gaps that we've got in the team. So if we look at the team right now, if I load up tactics, I've got 2 tactics that we did in the video. We're going to start with the real life one, the one that we kind of got close to the replication. So if I kind of put in a couple of the players now that I'm happy with, Mike Maignan, yes. You know, at the moment, right back's an issue with Terracchiano, Royale, not great. Left back, we're covered. Theo Hernandez, which is good. I'm also happy with having Youssef Fofana in there, with probably then Ricky, even though he's not great at it, he will be. He's only young, 23 years old. Passing, yeah. I think we can make him into a really nice register. Carrillo, we've got players that can maybe do it. Benacia, Loftus-Cheek, Bondo, Popega, I think's out on loan. Musa as well. The areas, our attacking two is going to have to be Pulisic from the left, is like doing the Seedorf role. And we're going to have, the idea of this save is that we really keep some of these players in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5, oh, 6 players. These 6 players for hopefully the duration. If some stupid offers come in, like I know Theo Hernandez is always linked to Saudi. If a really ridiculous deal comes in at double that and we haven't got much money, we may look into it. Same with maybe some of the others. But, you know, I'm happy for these to stay in the squad. And then can we build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pad out the squad and make it that we have 2 really good players in each position. I'm hoping by the end of the save and end of the video, I've kind of done that. And then you guys that are taking on the save can then just go out and spend the big bucks and really polish it the best way you can. The tactic itself is available for the Patreons. However, you can just play the game however you want. If you want to start putting Leao back out on the left, you're a new manager coming in. You don't have to do the Christmas tree. You can do whatever you want. You're the manager. Right. So that is where we're kind of at. Now, we're lucky, though, so far this season that we've got no European football to a certain extent. As in, money-wise, bad, but good that we can really just play this team over and over. We don't have to rotate. That's my worry this year, that, you know, the board expectation is Champions League. We have to try to get Champions League to get any sort of money. The money is okay in Serie A. You get about 50-odd million, which ain't bad. But for a club Milan's size, that's not enough if we want to kind of compete with the teams at the top tier. We've not got a lot of selling value at the moment. Leao, Pulisic, Mignon, Hernandez maybe, and all these down here are all pretty worthless. And these are the ones that we want to get rid of. We need to keep these guys up here. They're the guys, not because they're worth a lot, because they're by far our best players. We've got a little bit of money, 16.84. We're not going to spend anything this summer. We're just going to fly. We're just going to work on what we've got and get through, definitely maybe till Christmas, but I'm hoping that we can just play through to the season, save as much money as we can. Often there's not a lot to go around in the first summer of the transfer window anyway. So can we kick on, get Champions League, get a bit of money in, and then have a good spell? We got 45 in the bank. Wages is under control. We're bang on it. Debt, a little bit of debt, paying 145 grand a month. That's pretty nothing. I suppose it's still, yeah, it's nothing. What we pay, like 2 million something a year. So that's nothing to worry about. We're in a decent position if we can constantly get Champions League football. Right, you catch us halfway through the season, 18 games played, January the 1st, and we're in an okay position. We're not scoring many, but we're not conceding many. We've let in 15 and 18, which is impressive. Bearing in mind as well that Lecce, was it Lecce? We lost the opening game of the season against Udinese. Yeah, Lecce. Last game, we've just been absolutely smashed by Lecce, which is a bit bizarre, 4-0, considering our... we'd only conceded one goal in the whole of December, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other games. So that was a little bit of a hopefully not a worry. We've got maybe a nice January and February coming up where we can kick on. It's okay. It's okay at the moment. We're not scoring enough goals. Leading goal scorer is Rafael Leao, who started really well as that trequartista, 9 in 18. Jimenez is struggling, even though you'd think, poaching-wise, if we can get in the chances, his XG, he's performing below his XG, which is a worry because, we want... The idea is the poacher doesn't do much else apart from scoring goals. So he needs to sort it out. The striker wasn't on my radar for the transfer window at the end of season 1, but it may have to be if he continues to kind of under-deliver. I'm trying to fad out the squad. There is a lot of players in here that are not worth a dime. Like the B team... If we go to the B team, look at the length. We've also got an under-20s, loads of players. All in all, costs the club a lot of money. And, if we can kind of clear out one of the squads, I don't think we need a B team, 20s and under-18s. If we can slim that a little bit, I think that will help us going forward. We've got some exciting youngsters, though. Alex Jimenez is in the B team at the moment. I've kind of put him in there just so he could play every week, but I am hoping on using him next season, try and hopefully get Emerson Royal out of the door, and then he can play with the young, is it Terry? He can play with him. And then I've got Barstagli, who we haven't really got another left back at the moment. So I'm really hoping that Barstagli can kind of be our backup to Hernandez. We know Hernandez is going to play a lot, so it's more of a case of him just being a backup. A Milan boy as well, which I think is good for the save. The financials have improved. We've got £48 million at the moment. I'm not planning on spending it. I really want us just to go again in the summer with the money that we've got. And if we get in Champions League, hopefully it'll give us a little bit more. And you never know, we could have maybe up to a £60 million. Few sales in there, as you can see already. Theo Hernandez having a good start to the season. To be fair, not really. 2 goals, 1 assist. I'd expect more from him on that left-hand side. He is wanted by Chelsea. Once again, stupid offers come in. We want double. We need double. He's so good in the game. We need to make sure we get double. Season 1 under the Carlo Ancelotti Christmas tree, and we've managed to get into European football, Champions League football, 75 points, 9 defeats in the end, only 6 draws. We started to pick up in terms of goals, 67 goals. We've managed to smash 10 past Pisa, which is pretty impressive. They've got themselves relegated. But, we class that as a good season. That's what we wanted. That means money, right? You would have thought so. We've signed nothing. We've sold 22.5. So we signed absolutely no one. These are all youngsters that we kind of added from the B team that were getting released, and I forgot that with youth intake and signed them. And for some reason, the money's just absolutely disappeared. It's been put in the wages. We had 48 million halfway through season 1, and that's now literally disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't know where it's gone. I've got no bills outstanding. We've still got the loan. So it's not as if we've decided to pay that off early. We've kind of just been screwed. We've made a lot of money this season. Look, £61 million. We've made a lot of money because there was deals for, I think at the start of the game, there was deals for like Reinders. We got paid for money for Reinders going to Man City and things like that. And that's why we had all that money by January. But for some reason, it's disappeared, which is a massive, massive worry. Like the players that have had a decent season, Rafa Leao, Hernandez, Emerson Royale has done okay, but really, he's not going to be part of our plans. Ricky's had a good season. Sportiello was a bit of a backup. Pulisic's done okay. Where is the leading goal scorer? Rafa Leao. Jimenez has improved a little bit. He's now just performing over his XG. It's going to be tough. It's going to be so tough because there is a lot of rubbish in this squad. Origi, Branca, Chukwueze doesn't fit into the squad. Vasquez is a sub-keeper. Salinakers. Tomori we're going to sell because we can get a little bit of money for him. He wants to go, so that'll free us up a little bit. But then we have to reinvest that on a replacement. Musa isn't great. Sportiello, Pavlovic isn't great. Malik Thau wants to go because he's constantly, he hasn't played as many games because we've got Gabia and Tomori that are probably better than him right now. So, yeah. Not what we want. I'm super happy that we've got European football. I'm a little bit worried that we're going to end up in a position where we're absolutely nowhere near strong enough next season when we've got to play. Remember, we've not had European football at all this year. So having Saturday, Wednesday, pretty much, for a main part of the first few months of the season is going to be really tricky. It's the longer group now. It goes into the big group for season 2. You play more games. Yeah, not what we wanted. Leao has had a tremendous season, though, worth a lot of money. But I think it's important that, at some point we may have to sell somebody. I'm hoping that we can keep hold of him. We may sell on maybe a Hernandez at some point. But I do feel like Leao has the carrying capabilities of being a really good trequartista. We're training with it now. He's played all his games there. I don't want to convert him into an advanced forward. I think having him, he really suits trequartista. His vision's quite good. His decisions aren't great, but I just want him that ball carrier. And he's had a tremendous season, 20 goals from 40 as playing as the Trek. Right. Any players leaving, I think they probably is, contract-wise. Expired Origi, Salinakers, as they call him, Branca, Adil, Theo Hernandez, but he's already signed a new deal. Look, I'd sorted that out early on, and Mike Magnon signed a new deal early on as well. So look, they're going up. Magnon's is nearly not far off trebled, and Hernandez has gone up from 85, has gone up an extra 40 grand. So yeah, there's a lot of money in there on those two deals alone. So once those kick in, we're going to be struggling a little bit. And there's not much value. The players we want to get rid of, a lot of these in here, Emerson Royale, we're not going to get 22 million for him, are we? We're not going to get 23 million for Musa. We are going to get 27 million for anything near that for Benassa or Gabia. We'll probably let Gabia go, even though he's Italian. He is wanted by a few clubs. Saudi, always handy when Saudi comes knocking. Pulisic's probably the only one that I would happily let go. He doesn't really suit the role that we want. I don't see him as that Clarence Seedorf kind of player. So yeah, we may let him go if there's something comes in. Man City were linked, I think, halfway through the season. Nothing came of it. Chelsea as well. So maybe they may come back in if he starts having a really good season too. Okay, season 2 has begun. Transfer window open. I'd just like to say we've made a profit on the transfers. So we had that 12 million budget, 44 million pounds in on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. And we've had a total of 48 million pounds on the way out. Most notably, Emerson Royale. We managed to get a nice bit of business, 16 million pounds for him. Then we have Teresiano. Sorry, I'm going to butcher that every single time. And then we've got the youngsters, Jimenez, the young Spanish right back. So we're kind of covered in there. Tomori, he wanted to leave. We got a nice bit of money for him, 15.25. Pavlovic, these are players that I kind of wanted to keep Tomori as a bit of a backup, but it got to the point where we needed money to come in, and Pavlovic was a backup, so it made sense to kind of let him go. If we're going to try and strengthen, you need to kind of move your starter down. The idea is that the current starter moves down to backup. We get rid of the backup and we bring someone in at the top end. That was kind of the plan that we need to do. We need to be clever with our signings and be patient. Colombo has gone. He's gone to Roma, which is a decent pickup, and he looks okay, but look, he's not going to be, is he? He's not going to be the next Filippo Inzaghi. That is for sure. And then other noticeable ones, you can see Okafor went, and a couple have gone out on frees. Adley, a few others. There would have been some that got released. Branca, Origi, look at all the others. Young Denzel Seedorf's in there as well. Yeah, loads. We're trying to really clamp down on that B, under 20 and under 18s team. On the ins, first one through the door on the 1st of July, Mark Gay on a free transfer. This is where we could kind of let Tomori go. He's on a bit of wage, bit of coin. I'm really going to look at the wage budget as well and make sure we don't go over the current wages. I'll show you where we're at with the wages at the moment, but I'm a bit worried that, we tried to sign Milinkovic-Savic, wanted like 180 grand. We've tried to sign Goretzka as well. All wanting ridiculous amounts of money, and we've decided to pull out of deals or not offer massive amounts. But I kind of thought it was worth it for him because it was a free, and it's kind of in and around the Magnon and the Hernandez deals that we did at the start of the season. So yeah, he's in, ball-playing defender. Really happy with that. He's going to be with us for the duration of the save, isn't he? Lorenzo Pellegrini. Now, he was relatively cheap. Roma have not had a great season. They've still got Gasperini, but we managed to get him at a decent price. 13.75 million. I've got him because he can kind of do the advanced playmaker role. He can do the deep line role. I also love Pellegrini. I wanted to bring some more Italians into the squad. It wasn't a very Italian feel, especially in terms of the quality in the squad. If we did a starting 11, I think we only had one Italian, which was Gabbia. Everyone else was foreign, maybe Terracchiano at right back. But apart from that, everyone else was foreign. So we're going to bring Pellegrini. I absolutely love him at Roma. Can do the advanced playmaker as well. This is available for the Patreons as well because we've brought the tactic in. We've tried to get more out of that AP there by bringing him from out to in with just the instruction of roam from position, mark specific position. So we're getting to mark the right back. So out of possession, he goes out there and stay wider so he holds that width a little bit more. So I'm hoping Pellegrini will be the man for that. The next one we brought in, this one was a weird one. I've never played with him in FM. I've never really seen him hit the high notes, but he was regarded highly by our scouts, number one. He was relatively cheap. We got him from 11 million from Dortmund, and he can kind of do a couple of roles. He can sit deep. He can do the middle role, the Carrilero, okay. He can do both midfield roles. It's kind of one of those players where we had money left. We couldn't buy anyone to really improve the squad. And I thought with a couple of players leaving, can we get a couple out, allow Job to come in and do a job? And he was the replacement. I forgot to mention, he was the replacement for Benacer. Benacer has gone out to El Arabi as well. £60 million. Sorry, Qatar. £60 million. He was joined by Samuel Chukwueze, who just didn't fit our profile of player that we wanted. Played no games for Ushuaid last season at all, and he's gone off for 14 million. Perbega's gone, as you can see, for a couple of mil. So those, all in all, was a lot of money that we managed to scoop up. And as I said, Job was then that little bit of a halfway house with a backup in terms of being that next player to maybe break through, good on the bench, wasn't high earning, happy to be a squad player. I kind of thought it was a good signing, even though it annoyed me that we'd signed someone who potentially was not going to be a starter. The next one, though, I thought could cover both roles. Because we're doing Champions League and League, we've got Pulisic, Pellegrini, Leao. We need something else in and around the attacking area. So we've brought in Ryan Cherki from Manchester City on loan. He can be called back, worryingly. I had to have that in the deal. He will, I'm hoping he'll play in his preferred position as Trequartista, but my idea was that he was going to be more of an option on the left and be a backup to Rafael Leao, who we kind of want to play all the time. So, yeah, interested to see whether he lasts the full season. And the big one, 19.75. We've got an Italian in, David Fratesi. He's going to be our Carrilero. Now, you might think he's not absolutely amazing, only 3-star, but first touch is good. Passing, tackling, okay, technique. I just want him to have lots of energy in there. 6 foot, Italian, 26 years old. Really, like, the Carrilero's not going to be the world beater, but I just thought it was a really sensible signing to have David Fratesi in the team. So the team, I think he's better. Magnon, Terracchiano instead of Emerson Royale, Mark Gay with Gabbia and Hernandez. We've still got Youssef Fofana and Ricky with Fratesi, with Rafa Leao. In here we've got Pulisic, Pellegrini, Cherki, options, Jimenez, up front. We've also got Alvaro Morata. He was with Galatasaray. They didn't do the release clause. He ended up playing, look, half the season in the B team. I was hoping to get rid of him. We can't get rid of him. I've taken him off the transfer list. He's got 2 years left on his deal. I've tried to get rid of him, and then as soon as the transfer window's gone, I've said to him, right, off the transfer list, come and be a backup for Jimenez in the team. So I think we're stronger. We've kind of, I think we did really well to get that money from Qatar for Chukwueze and Benacer. Said he was kind of good, but I knew that Fratesi was available. Fratesi was 40 odd million as well. He was 40 odd million, and I knew what would happen. I kept my eye on him. No one else came in for him. He wasn't wanted by anyone else. And we ended up finding him in August. I could have bought him in early as June, but that we've saved 20 million there by just holding off. And we've made a pretty good start to the season. We're in 5th. Opening game shocker at Como. 7 shots, 6 on target for them. Plenty of efforts from us. Only 4 on target, which is really disappointing. But then we've 2-1, but then we've responded with a 2-1 win at home to Fiorentina, Pellegrini, Rafael Leao, and then a 1-0 win. Jimenez, Paredes getting sent off, but a really nice win away from home in Rome. Just about edged it, but I'm really happy that we've started to win. We look pretty good defensively as well. Champions League phase, we've got Feyenoord, Celta Vigo, Bayer Leverkusen, Chelsea, Rangers, FC Twente. Yeah, I think that's a really good draw in the Champions League, where, to be honest, I just want us to get Champions League football again. I think we need to get that again so we have money in the bank. We've got money to play with, right? Yeah, we still have 38 million. But the idea was behind that is that there is no one out there that we can sign to make our starting 11 so much better. So I've decided to leave it, save it. Hopefully the board don't take it away from us and leave it in the bank. Champions League football again. We get more money and then we can go again. I'm just still a little bit worried. We're a little bit light in the defensive areas. I think it's centre-back. Yeah, we literally got Gay, Gabia and Thior, who's injured as well at the moment. So, yeah, Gay and Gabia are going to be playing a lot of games. Halfway through the season, we are 2nd. Champions League football looks like it's maybe already in the bag. Genoa are doing really well, by the way, in 4th. We're 9 clear of Juventus. We're nearly halfway through the season. We've only lost 2. Remember, we lost 1 at Como. We've lost to Genoa, who are going really well. Only 12 goals conceded. This Christmas tree tactic is working wonderfully well in terms of defensive. Having said that, Atalanta have only conceded 7. Only scored 29 though, whereas we've scored 40. Atalanta looking extremely strong. I've laughed at the appointment of Ivan Juric, the guy that was at Southampton last year, sacked at Roma, sacked at Southampton. He's managed to get the luckiest job in the world at Atalanta. I'm really interested to see how well he does in real life this season. Now Gasperini's moved off across to Roma. So yeah, the season has started pretty damn well. Cherky isn't happy because he says he's playing in a weak role. He's played a lot as advanced playmaker, but he has had 6 assists and 4 goals. I'm kind of happy with him, but it's going to get to the point where we probably lose him. Jimenez is doing all right, just performing just over his XG. 5 goals in the Champions League. Our run in the Champions League has gone extremely well. We're in 7th, looking like we're going to qualify to that. So that's more money. That's what we're kind of looking at. Coppa Italia, we didn't really speak about that in season 1. I think we lost in the semi-final. We need to try and win that at some point. And then we've got the EA Sports Super Cup. It's like they do in Spain, where I think they play it in like Saudi or something. Play a couple of games, semi-final. Did we win it last year? No, Lazio won it last year. Who won the Coppa Italia last year? Inter won it. So yeah, opportunity to pick up some trophies, potentially. Not Europe, but that is all about staying in it for as long as we can. This is the priority. Let's see if we can get Champions League football for the 2nd season in a row. Rafael Leao's not been as clinical so far, but he's overperforming. He's on his XG, which is good. 8 goals in 23 appearances. We're still very strong defensively, which is good. That's what you want from an AC Milan side. You know, Baresi, Costa Curta, Maldini, Nesta that we spoke about. Fantastic defenders. We need to kind of make sure going forward we have that base, that solid base behind us. The season has come to an end. We won the Super Cup, knocked out in the semis by Atalanta, knocked out in the Champions last 16 by Real Madrid, which I suppose is no mean feat. Jimenez, 11 goals, but then as you can see on the left, 2nd place, 4 points off Inter, who have come from behind. That's what she said. Atalanta were leading the way, but I'm just happy. 2nd place, an improvement, 80 goals scored, 29 conceded. Inter Milan have come from absolutely nowhere. We were on a great run, and we've just lost it at the end. 1-0 defeat to Atalanta, but to be fair, even that extra 3 points on the end of the season didn't mean a thing. But up until the last game of the season, Inter and us, there was only 1 point between us. So Champions League football, super happy with that. Money, like, they're not wanting to give us any money. We had 38 million, right? And I've gone forward an extra 8 days because I thought, they've not given me a budget yet. They've not given me a budget. They have cleared the debts. So about 20 million of the debt has been paid off, which I do kind of like, but it's left us a little short. 30 million again, a little bit to play in the wages. We've upped Ricky's deal because he wanted a new deal. He's going from 60,000 to 120,000. And that's with me haggling, by the way. Terracchiano, 24,000 to 88,000. Gabbia, 24,000 to 30. This is because we're in Champions League 2 seasons in a row, to 73,000. And Jimenez, our backup player, has gone up he's gone up 16 grand a week. So a lot of that is going to disappear. By the way, as you can see, these are all new wages, new dates. When I'm offering contracts to players at the start, during seasons, I always fast forward it on. So I'm going to offer you a new deal. So let's just say, let's go and offer Bartazaghi, right? Enter new contract. Here, I always do end of the season, which I know we can't do now, but say this was like January time, you could do it January, which would be immediate, and then end of the season. So we've kind of had the deal sorted for a long time, but they've been at their current wage. Just saves a little bit of extra money. A little bit of a tip for you there. We have got players leaving, right? Loftus-Cheek, Sporty Yellow, Malek Thiaw, he's just not played. He's played a bit and done a lot of subs, and I've tried to transfer list him in January because I knew that he was wanting to go. Couldn't get anyone in for him, so he's going to be leaving on a free, which is a bit of a nightmare because he was low contract as well. But that's what sometimes happens when you can't play players regularly. Anyone else leaving? No, that's it. Everyone else is covered. We've got Morata for an extra year. Bless him. Oh no, he's retiring. Beautiful. He scored 2 goals for us, but he's retiring, which is good. Leading goal scorer, Jimenez, decent. 11 in 12. He's only scored 12 in the league, though. He's underperformed his XG by, 3? Done extremely well in the Champions League, but it's the league, that's the bread and butter. We need to be Serie A champions first, don't we? We need to be strong in that before you then go on and take on PSG, Real Madrid. We're not going to win that as easy as what, winning the Serie A is. So he needs to shape up a little bit. I think he wants a new contract. Yeah, he wants a new, I'm not giving him a new contract. He's on 72. He's going to want like 100 and something grand, isn't he? What's he going to want? 150. You got no chance, bud, right now. No chance. Good season from Fratesi, good average ratings in there. Rafael Leao banging 20 goals in again, 19 and 15. So super happy with him. We did lose Cherky. He went in the January because of his bloody where we were playing him. In terms of his loan agreement, what he Trequartista, and we playing with advanced playmaker. I find that bullshit in the game. That, he's playing as an advanced playmaker. Just let him be. He's playing games. Leave him alone. Jimenez has done all right in the games that he's played. Alex Jimenez, that is the young Spanish right back. Pellegrini's done all right. Pulisic, Pulisic's had a lot. I've transfer listed him, trying to get him out because he's worth a lot of money. I don't think we're going to get 60 for him. I've been trying to really be brave early on, and then by July we'll probably smash that deal in half. But we'll go big to start with to see if we can get some money in, just because it's going to be difficult to really improve the squad. I was wanting to go in and sign like 3 players a season, spend 30-40 million pounds on each on a player, maybe having up to, with a bit of dealing, maybe of 80, 90, 100 million pounds, but that's not been the case. It's going to be a tricky transfer window again. We're not going to be able to set the world alight again, but can we strengthen in those areas? So now we've got Hernandez. I think we still need to get an out-and-out AP. I'm happy with Fofana. I'm happy with the 2 fullbacks. We could probably get away with not having... We need to sign some strength in depth in the back 4. Gabbia and Gay are the only 2 players that we've now got in there. Mignon. So, yeah, with Fratesi in there, maybe do we just go and sign a couple of centre-halves? We've still got Musa in there. Zayoli I've brought in from the B team. Oh, we need to buy another striker. We need to sign another striker because Morata's leaving and maybe Jimenez may leave as well. Let's go into season 3. Let's see what we've done. I'm hoping that you're liking how the squad is shaping up and how we're kind of building realistically and looking at the profiles of players. We know what we want from poachers. I'm looking at finishing, composure. Yeah, nothing else but putting that ball in the back of the net. Pure Pipo Inzaghi. Start of the season, it's not been a great start. 1 win against Juventus, first game of this season. I thought, aye, we are cooking. We've done all right in transfer window, so I thought we are cooking. And then we've lost to Fiorentina and then Sassuolo. So maybe we're not as good. So I'm not panicking just yet, but I'm a little bit worried. However, I do think we've had a really good transfer window. So first of all, Christian Pulisic went quite early on in the window. We got £37 million, rising to potential 46.5. So I was more than happy with that. It gives us the option of reboosting. He didn't fit that kind of number 10 player that we wanted. I'm also not a big fan of him in real life, and I think that was one thing, a reason behind getting rid of him. And then a couple of other backups, like Bondo was highly rated. He just doesn't offer. He's all right, but we got a little bit of money in, 3.6. I was kind of happy with that. Vasquez, backup keeper, wasn't being used. We've brought in some youngsters from the B team. So, yeah, 2.3 for him. Was happy with that. All right, so moving into the transfers, a total of 35 spent, a couple of loans, a couple of big loans, a couple of youngsters that we're not really going to include, but we've signed 6 main players. We needed a backup striker, we needed an AP, we needed potentially 2 centre-halves. A little bit of cover in the AP as well because we'd lost Cherky halfway through the season. We'd then lost Pulisic, so we only had really Leao in there and an aging Pellegrini. So we managed to get Oscar Gluck, who was on a free, 100 grand a week, superb player. It's not a great start to the season, but it was one of those where I thought we need to get this guy in early. I'm hoping that he's only going to be a backup because I really wanted a bigger name to play in the AP, but he was more than happy. Can do both roles as well. Can maybe be a little bit of a striker if we have a little bit of an injury crisis or whatever. So yeah, I was more than happy to get him in on a free. We did get a backup striker. This is kind of one of those Italian players that the Italian teams sign because they've done well in the league. You get that a lot. He's had a decent season in Serie C with Salernitana. But where I was looking at is Poacher, right? 15 finishing, can't head it, but technique of 14, acceleration, pace, off the ball good, composure good, anticipation good, determination good, even though you're reading that for Poacher. I was more than happy with him. Free transfer, 30 years old, be a backup to Jimenez because we weren't in the market really for another centre forward. Well, we weren't until this guy popped up on loan. Francisco Piao Esposito. I tried to sign his brother, the defensive midfielder, but he chose Alweda. I really wanted him in as a bit of a squad padder, and he went really cheap, 4.5. Annoyed because we offered double that. So I'm a bit disappointed that he went there. But maybe that was down because he was only happy being a squad player for us. I should have maybe lied. But really happy to have Francisco Pio Esposito in. Potential to be a tremendous poacher. Finishing, passing, decent. But we won't need to do that. But technique good. Everything else in there. I just wanted an Italian 6'2". Yeah, low knee. I'm going to try and start him more than Jimenez. Upset Jimenez, sell Jimenez. We've got a potential as well. I locked it in. We can pay 39.5. So if he has a good season, it'll be worth it. If he's shit, we can move on to the next one. Another low knee. This was a bit special. And I thought when he came up later on, I thought, we did a deal early on in the window and he wanted too much. And then I thought, I'm going to have to revisit it. We couldn't sign who we wanted to sign permanently. That AP, a really good, he's worth this. This is the caliber of player that we need to be looking at now. So to get him in on loan, I thought, there's no future contract. Oh, there is. We could pay 137 million, but that was just what they wanted. Highly likely we were going to enjoy him for a year, but I thought him in the AP, we just can't say no to that. However, he's injured. He has damaged his cruciate ligaments. He's out for pretty much the season. He has 22 minutes into the Fiorentina game, off injured, done for pretty much the season. We are paying a lot, can't be terminated, and we're paying £150,000 of his wages. An absolute disaster of a transfer, but a lovely one nonetheless. I thought him and Leao in behind Esposito would have been beautiful, but not to be. The last one, Alessandro Chiratti. Now, he is Australian, but he is registered Italian. So that helps with squad filling, Champions League. Parma, 28.5. Look at him. Tremendous. Right-footed only, so we're going to move Gay across. So now we've got 2 really good outstanding centre-halves in Gay and Sakati. We'll go Sakati. And then we've also signed Ibanez. I really liked him at Roma, and then he went to Al Hilal chasing money. He's come back. We've signed him on a lot of money, £145,000 a week, but it's in around our budget. We're trying to keep him under 150 grand. He's worth a lot of money. I don't want him. He's saying he's going to be a star. I don't really want him to be a starter because I want to really go with that Gay partnership with Serratti. So him and Gabby are backup centre halves. Hopefully we'll have us a little bit better in squad depth. Now, I do use this bad boy a little bit. Let me know if you use the squad planner. I absolutely use it. I use it at the end of the season, and then I use it at the start of the season to see if, to see how well we've done. So we've got 2 goalkeepers, 2 right backs. Centre halves are looking good. If we take Minotti out, we've got 4 centre halves to cover the positions. Left back, Terracchiano can do it a little bit, but we've got Hernandez. Bastadi is not great. He's not going to play much. We maybe need to look at a potential left back, maybe down the line, a little bit better backup because he's not going to kick on. Defensive midfielders, Ricky to play as the registers, Ricky, Pellegrino and Joe Bellingham. Ricky, Fafana, Sandri, who's like a B team player that's now just filling the squad. Pellegrino and Bellingham can kind of do the volante role. We've got Fratesi, Zaroli and Musa. We won't include them. Those 3 can do the Carrilero. The Trek, we've got plenty of options. Like Pellegrini can't do it, but the others can. Even Dai to a certain extent. And there's Cams, Bellingham, Glock, D, Gavi. It would have been Gavi. We've got options in there, even though we've got the injury to Gavi. And then up front, Jimenez, Esposito. I don't think Dai is going to play hardly any games. Jimenez, let's get him up. So I'm more than happy with the depth that we've got. We've got 23 million pounds to spend. That will drop because I'll balance up the wages. But, there's a couple of players that we tried to get. Diego Copper, Al Capolo, he's new to Brighton, but really good in FM. He's just a little bit too much, but we'll keep our eye on him. Hoping at some point, the board give us a decent amount of money because we've done well. Like last season, we made £123 million. This season, we're making £79 million. We're in the Champions League again. We should be getting more money, shouldn't we? Which is really, really frustrating. How are our wages compared to the others in the division? 3rd. But look at that. We're 50%. Inter Milan have 50% more money than us in terms of the wages. So that's going to need some catching. All right, let's go on. We're moving to January, see where we're at, see what contracts maybe need sorting early, see if we've made progress. Hopefully we'll be in a title race, still in Europe. But yeah, once again, can we win the title? Can we progress probably past the group stage in Europe? But anything past that is a bonus. It's Champions League football minimum. Can we challenge for a title? Let's see where we are the start of Jan. Right, we're into January. It's not been great. Knocked out in the cup by Sassuolo. Knocked out in the league phase of the Champions League. An absolutely horrendous run. We only won 1 game, and that was against Bayern Munich. We absolutely smashed them. We've then drawn against Rennes, and then we've lost 6 games. Fenerbahce, Sevilla at home, Besiktas at home, Man United, Arsenal away. We got absolutely smashed by Arsenal 5-1, and we lost at home to Atalanta, who are 2nd in the division. Inter Milan are absolutely running away with it. We've lost 6 games. We're in a battle for European football. I do fancy us to fend off Parma and Roma, especially now we're not in the Champions League. Esposito is going pretty well, 12 in 9, overperforming his XG, something that Jimenez wasn't doing. So it's not all doom and gloom. We're out of the constant form of European football, league football. Hernandez is having a good start, as you can see. Leao's doing well, 12 in 31. Hopefully he's got an injury, twisted ankle. Thank God. We're obviously missing Gavi. Gavi's on his way back. He's 6 weeks off, but it's not been an amazing start. Jimenez has done all right at fullback. Terracchiano's got a good average rating. Frattesi's doing really well. It's like he's worth a lot of money, Frattesi now. Really solid in terms of that season and a half he's had us playing. You don't expect much from a Carrilero. It's them average ratings. If he's having them sort of average ratings as a Carrilero, a few assists in there, which is nice. So yeah, I do feel that we can maybe be all right. Look at the budget. Look at the budget now. Because of the money that we've got in the bank, this is what happens. I should really spend it halfway through the year, but I do find it I do like to do all my business at the end of the season. I hate to do things in January. We've got £181 million in the bloody bank. We've made a lot of money last season. We're making money this season. Yeah. Frustrating. Hopefully that'll be there at the end of the season. End of the season has come. We finished in second. We were never really in the title race. We finished 9 points off Inter, who have scored 102 goals. Wow. How are they doing that? They've got Unai Emery in charge. Have they been spending money? 55 million. Coman, Kang Lee-in's there. Juan Garcia, Wando Aureliano. The season before, they spent 119 million. Naipan, Ruben van Bommel. Heze, he's a very nice midfielder. Garcia, they're on low, and they've spent 47 million on João Felix, who is doing pretty well, actually. Playing a lot of games. We maybe should have looked at him and getting him in, but we're not in the market for 47 million. Once again, the board have decided to, no, you don't need 48 million. You only need 24.85. It's getting really frustrating that they're doing this to me, because our squad is, as you can see, it's looking quite small. We've managed to get 19 games out of Gavi, so an extra 16 games from the moment he got injured, third game of the season. He's done all right. 3 goals, 7 assists. Goal scorer, Esposito, 25 goals. I will be trying to... I think we need to sign him, which is difficult because we ain't got a lot of money. I can't afford him at the moment, and there's going to be other places we need to strengthen. The squad is looking small. Contract-wise, we're going to lose Zaroli, 2 out on loan potentially. So I suppose the squad's going to pretty much stay the same size. We just need to try and bring in a couple of quality players. Gavi is going to go. We can't re-sign him. Even though his value has dropped by half, we're not going to be able to sign him next season. So, yeah, feels like the toughest test. Trying to catch these boys at the top. Inter have now won it 2 seasons in a row, looking extremely strong. Lots of money compared to us. Their wages, remember, was 50% more than us. So we need a bit of help. Help in the form of this guy, Hernandez. Wanted by Saudi. He's 30 years old. Now, I'm more than happy to keep him, but I just think that money, signing another outstanding left back, might then free up maybe another 20 or 30 million pounds to spend somewhere else. I have got a potential recruitment lined up. It's going to cost me about 50 million, but I do feel like with Hernandez aging, him wanting to go to Saudi anyway, as soon as he puts an offer in, I imagine he'll want to go because of the money that they'll be offering. He'll want to go. So we'll see where we are. He may be the answer to getting a little bit of money back in. Roger Ibanez, I might try and get him out as well because he's not played a great deal. Can we get a little bit of cash for him? Yeah, it may be a summer of... I can't really sell anyone else. I can't actually sell anyone else, which is a bit of a nightmare. We need some luck in the transfer market. Right, already not a great start to the season. 3 games, no wins. 2 draws against Cagliari and Bologna. And 1 defeat against Torino at home. I was expecting 9 points out of 9. Our title charge, this has to be the season where we, try and win a title or, get closer. We're already starting 7 points adrift of Inter. An incredible Inter, by the way. So not the start we wanted. However, the transfer window, I think, has gone pretty well. We managed to get in £87 million where, most of it was Theo Hernandez. He's gone. He's on £800,000 a week, so we can't grumble. It's 75, raising to 87. That 87 is like installment, so we're going to get that for a 30. Is he 31 now? 30. No, he's going to be 31 next month. So, yeah, I thought that was a good deal. And Santiago Jimenez managed to get him out for absolutely nothing. He's gone out to Saudi, 13.5, but he was unhappy being back up. I kind of thought we need to sign Esposito, which we've done. Esposito is in. 39.5. We triggered it. His greens, his attributes are looking a lot better than last year. He's not had a great start to the season. Great pre-season. 12 in 4. 21 Serie A goals last season. We need him to get in and around that again. Thank God that we've got a little bit of time. His age profile as well, 23. I do think if it's not this season, next season, he will hopefully explode. Maximino Perrone is in. I thought it was a good backup. We've kind of, these players like Ricky, when Ricky gets injured, we've got no one to go in. And Perrone has had a good season in real life at Como. So I've decided to get him in. Free transfer, low wages as well. So, kind of felt like a no-brainer. Our big wing-back replacement is Tom Roth. We've paid a lot of money for him, £50 million. But season-wise, he's done okay. But 17 crossing, 14 dribbling, pace, power, 6'4", getting in at that far post, crossing the ball. I'm thinking he will be a wonderful signing. Only £23 million as well. So that was the guy that, sorry, only 23 years old. He is the guy that we were looking at. I knew that we'd get him, Union Berlin. I knew that, he'd want to come and play for AC Milan. So we've saved 37 million kind of from the Hernandez deal. Wages gone down a little bit as well. Hernandez was on 125, so we've saved a little bit there. And potentially we've got he's got our fullback for the remaining part of the save. And the last one is Andrei Maximovic. I've never signed him before. He has been on our shortlist for a number of seasons, and he had a release clause of 6 million, which I didn't decide to trigger until this season, until his attributes started exploding to the 15s and 16s. Advanced playmaker, trequartista, he can kind of do it all at a good age. Someone to really grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Good pace, work rate decent, can dribble, can finish. Yeah, really happy with that. Absolute bargain. So those were the signings. 4 in. I said we've tried to keep it a little bit realistic in terms of the money spent. We've only spent a little bit. We've got, again, £17 million left over. We've not gone and done things stupidly. The squad is still small, but we've still got our 4 centre-halves. We're still covered at full-backs. Maybe a little bit weaker in there, but, Peroni has given us a good depth. Joe Bellingham's given us good depth. Zaroli's given us good depth in midfield. We've still got, despite Fratesi wanting to go to Arsenal, and also Terry Canano, we've had big bids from him. They wanted like £40 million. We've said 60 you can go, bud. So he may... I don't know if they'll come in for 6. That's a lot of money. Fratesi, unhappy transfer was blocked. He'll get over it, right? But they were preventing to spend 60, 70 million. But I do think we're not far off now. We've got rid of Hernandez, which I thought was good because we had Roth. And I did kind of think, like, this is the team. This is the team that we've got. Leao's out injured, but I'm looking at it. I'm liking it. Maybe still attacking mid. We've only got Bellingham and Pellegrini as the backups in there. To Glock as well. Glock, did he have a good season last year? So yeah, he did all right. He's a decent backup, isn't he? He's decent for us. Maybe not world beating, but we're building sensibly, I think. Right, season 4. Let's go through till Christmas. Can we be in a title race? Our European journey as well. We need to perform better in Europe. That was an absolute shambles last year. What are our fixtures? Man United, Dynamo Zagreb, Copenhagen, Real Madrid, Newcastle away, Galatasaray away. Yeah, it'll be tricky. Oh, and Barcelona and Man City. We've been absolutely pie-faced there. Okay, let's focus on the league, shall we? Right, halfway through the season, nearly. It's okay. 32 points. 5 off Atalanta, who are going really well. We've only lost 3 games, which isn't bad because we started the season with losing Torino. So we've only lost against Roma and 2 defeats in the last, 14 games, which is bad. But 5 draws, 3 more draws. But then we've racked up 9 wins in that 14. So I suppose we're actually on the rise. Some good wins in there as well. Inter, Fiorentina, Lazio, Parma, Genoa have been going well. Fiorentina away, Como, some big scores in there. Some big scores. The Champions League ain't going great. We kind of expected it a little bit because of the draw. We've beaten Copenhagen and Zagreb, which you'd expect. 1-1 draw with Real Madrid, which is respectable. And then 3 defeats, the away performances. Galatasaray, disappointing, but Newcastle and Man United, were maybe not expected. As you can see, Tom Roth dominating. 9 assists in the league, 11 in all, attributes on the march already. He looks incredible. Nice bit of business from me. It's the first time I've signed him in FM24. Same for Esposito. I've not used him at all in FM24, and he's repaying me. Overperforming his XG, 16 goals in 11 games. Remember, he's just playing as that poacher in that system. Maximovic is in, doing all right in his first season. 2 goals, 2 assists and 5 goals. Rafael Leao has struggled a lot. Has he been injured? Couple of little injuries, but nothing to really shout. Broken nose. Fair, he has a broken nose. Twisted ankle. No, broken nose. Pulled knee limits, tight thigh. So 3 mini injuries. So he's a little bit off it because he's had 19, 15 and 16. Yeah, he's way off it at the moment. He's been playing regularly in the Trequartista. So we've done well despite not having a really good Rafael Leao. We've let Ibanez go out on loan as well. He's gone. Just so, yeah, it stopped him whinging, basically. I think we could kind of cover just having 3 centre-backs out of the 4. He wasn't playing, so, yeah, Gabby is now the backup for both sides. The plan, try and Europe, getting out of Europe would be difficult, I think. How many points? We're level on points, but our last games are really tough, weren't they? I'm sure they were Barcelona. Where are we? Barcelona and Man City. Yeah, nightmare. Let's focus on the league. And focus on the league we have. We have completed the Serie A. We have won it with 86 points, 7 points clear of Inter. 101 goals scored with only 34. I love it when you score over 100 and you concede less than a goal a game, and we've done that. Only 6 defeats, so we only went on to lose a couple more games. Torino, for some reason, are our bogey team. We've lost twice to them. We did lose to Inter, but it wasn't enough for them to catch us. They're way off in terms of goals as well. We have not completed the challenge, but this is going to be where now we finish the save. The save file is going to be available not just for Patreons, but for everybody. Link down in the description. I want you to take on this team. The team that has a incredible Esposito. Let's look at the stats. 44 goals for Esposito. Absolute incredible season. He is our main man. Your main man, no doubt. You've also got Maximovic, who has turned out to be absolutely incredible. He was only on about 5 goals and 6 assists after like halfway through the season. He's now finished the season with 21 goals and 11 assists, all as pretty much an advanced playmaker. Wow. What a player. What a bargain. You've got him. You've also got Rafa Leao. He's then chipped in. What a second half of the season, by the way. He was on 1 goal. He's finished with 16. So you've got 3 amazing players in there. 1 defeat, Inter, from February all the way through till the end of the season. Only 1 defeat. The rest were wins. We've also won the Coppa Italia. We beat Juventus 3-2. No real part of the save. I think it was to try and get us back in Champions League, being a European. That's the thing for you guys now. We've disappointed in Europe. We've got beat to Barcelona, got beat to Man City. So 2 out of the 3 seasons, we've failed to come out of the league phase. So, save file for you guys down below. You've got 30 million to spend. I don't know what's happening with the money. I really don't. We've got 185 million pounds. We've made 26 million last season. The season before that, we made like 100 odd million. 22 this season. 100, and I imagine there'll be still money to come through from the Champions League. 185 million pounds in the bank. We really should be having more money than that, and I don't know why. I've not tried to put any bids in for players or anything like that. We spent nothing in the window. Yeah, really frustrating that we're not being able to spend all that money. But I think I've set it up nicely for you. Contract-wise, you're going to take over on today's date, the 1st of June. I'm going to resign as manager of AC Milan, and then it's for you to appoint yourself. Go in. Contracts, let's have a look. Pellegrini, that's it. You can keep him if you want. Frattesi next season, so you might need to deal with that. That's your only issue. He's been unhappy for most of the season. Do whatever you can. Let me see if he's interested first. Yeah, he's interested. There you go. So he's interested. So, you can make that happen. All right, guys. That is it. Check out the link down in the description to get your thing. Now, what I want you to do, I haven't got Discord anymore, right? But there's a nice little thing on my community page on mobile. It's not on the desktop. Can you see that? Trex Community. It's on my homepage there. Can you see it says Visit Community? Click on that, and then you can upload, you can comment directly to me, and it goes onto my page. I can accept it, put screenshots in, if you just want to take a photo of the screen of how you've done, the signings you've made. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you want to put it down and just in the comments of this video, you're more than welcome to. But I'm trying to get the community challenge. When I do these saves over the next few weeks and months, we've got a couple on the board that I want to cover. I'm going to leave it not with the end, as in the end. This is now the stage 2. I don't want to do saves for like 25 years. These are a couple that I do, but this wasn't. This was about getting AC Milan back onto a footing in Serie A. We've done that. You take them on. Don't download a tactic. Build your own bloody tactic. That's the only thing I ask. Be creative. And thank you very much for watching. Leave me your comments. Leave me your progress in the comments and on my communities page. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. See you later.